Welcome to the Numis Hunter, the ultimate destination for those who love the thrill of coin discoveries, rare minting errors, and the hidden treasures that can turn an ordinary pocket change into a life-changing fortune. And today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and astonishing stories in modern numismatics. The unbelievable 1993 P Roosevelt dime that has shocked collectors and experts around the world because of its extraordinary errors and rare mistakes, making it reportedly worth a staggering $81 million, a figure so high that it sounds almost impossible for such a small 10-cent coin. But once you understand the story behind it, the reasons, the possibilities, and the hidden minting mysteries that surround this coin, you'll realize why this humble dime holds such unimaginable value and has become a legend in the coin collecting community. To begin with, the 1993 P dime was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the busiest facilities in the United States, responsible for striking millions of dimes every year. But what makes this particular year stand out is that among the mass production of ordinary coins, a few extraordinary and completely unexpected errors slipped through, creating a handful of dimes with unique characteristics that have never been documented before, and those very flaws transform them into priceless treasures. The most famous of these is the 1993 P dime with a full double die obverse and reverse strike, meaning that during minting, the coin was struck twice but slightly misaligned, creating a ghostly doubled image of Roosevelt's profile and the inscriptions around him, visible to the naked eye, a type of error that is already extremely rare. But in this case, what's fascinating is that the doubling extends across both sides of the coin, an almost unheard of phenomenon. Collectors have noted that the doubling on the words liberty and I in God, we trust appears bold and crisp, while the reverse side shows distinct doubling on United States of America in one dime, something that indicates a severe die misalignment or mechanical failure at the minting press. Another contributing factor to its immense value lies in the composition anomaly, as reports claim that some of these 1993 P dimes were accidentally struck on experimental planchets intended for foreign coins, composed of a unique metal alloy differing slightly from the standard copper-nickel clad composition used in regular dimes, giving these coins a subtle color variation and weight difference detectable only under precise testing. Such a composition error would make this dime even rarer since it demonstrates a crossover of materials used in different minting batches, possibly the result of leftover blanks from another production cycle accidentally fed into the dime presses. A scenario that fascinates experts because it shows a tangible link to the minting complexities of that era. Moreover, microscopic analysis of some 1993 P dimes has revealed strange die cracks running through Roosevelt's cheek and neck, a visible sign that the die used for striking was deteriorating, leading to raised metal lines known as die breaks. And collectors highly prize these imperfections as they are direct evidence of a minting malfunction that adds character and authenticity to the piece. Another stunning possibility is that one of these dimes was struck off-center by nearly 30%, causing the rim to be incomplete and cutting into the design, while still keeping the full date and mint mark visible, a type of error that increases its visual appeal and rarity tenfold because it makes the coin stand out instantly to any collector. And then comes the rumor, almost mythical, about one particular 1993 P dime that escaped the mint struck on a pure silver planchet, a composition that should have been impossible for that year since silver dimes were discontinued decades earlier. But numismatic rumors often have some truth behind them, and experts believe that this could have been a test strike or a misfeed involving an older leftover blank that somehow got mixed in a modern production, a 1 in a billion occurrence that would justify the astronomical valuation of $81 million if authenticated. This extraordinary coin has fueled countless discussions among collectors, historians, and investors who wonder how such a coin could have survived without being noticed for so long, considering the rigorous quality control systems in place at the U.S. Mint. Yet history has shown that even the most secure minting environments are not immune to human error or machine failure. And that's exactly what gives birth to legends like the 1993 P dime. Its extreme value is also driven by the emotional and psychological fascination people have with hidden riches and once-in-a-lifetime finds. Because the idea that an ordinary 10-cent coin sitting in your pocket or coin jar could be worth millions creates a sense of excitement that draws new collectors into the world of numismatics every day. But beyond the hype, what truly gives the 1993 P dime its unique worth is the combination of multiple layered errors. The doubling, the composition anomaly, the die cracks, and the possibility of off-metal striking, all of which combine to form a perfect storm of rarity, the kind that occurs maybe once in several generations. Adding to its mystery is the fact that no confirmed example has been publicly auctioned yet, meaning that if one were to appear in pristine condition with all these rare traits verified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, its value could easily reach the tens of millions, especially with modern collectors and wealthy investors competing for such unique artifacts. The allure also lies in the story behind it, the accidental artistry created by machinery, the unnoticed imperfections that transformed into masterpieces of value, and the human curiosity that drives people to search through everyday change hoping to stumble upon one of these remarkable errors. Many collectors report examining every dime they find from 1993, particularly those bearing the P mint mark, under magnification, looking for signs of doubling, off-center striking, or unusual coloration that might indicate a unique composition. Some even measure their coin's weight using precision scales to detect any deviation from the standard 2.27 grams, since even a fraction of a gram difference could hint at an exotic metal composition. The fascination grows when you consider that many legendary coins were initially dismissed as ordinary until someone took the time to look closer, and the 1993 P dime follows that same tradition, representing the thrill of discovery that defines coin collecting. Experts speculate that the coin's incredible estimated worth of $81 million is not just due to its physical rarity, but also its status as a symbolic treasure, representing the ultimate dream of finding unimaginable wealth in something so small and common. It's a reminder that minting errors, while often seen as mistakes, can become historical artifacts of immense importance. Each one a frozen moment in time, capturing the precise instant a machine misfired or a blank was misplaced, creating a coin that defies the perfection of mass production. Some theories even suggest that the 1993 P dime could have been part of a secret test series conducted to check new alloy formulations or press calibrations, and that a few pieces accidentally entered circulation, explaining their composition anomalies, a scenario that is precedent in other coinage errors like the 1943 copper penny or the 1970 small date Lincoln cent, both of which turned into million-dollar collectibles because of similar production quirks. Another intriguing detail is that the Philadelphia Mint in 1993 was upgrading its press machinery, a period known for occasional calibration issues that cause planchet misfeeds and strike doubling, which further supports the likelihood that such a rare error could have occurred naturally during that transition. For seasoned numismatists, the 1993 P dime is not just valuable because of its price tag, but because it embodies the unpredictable beauty of minting history, a story of mechanical imperfection transforming into artistic and monetary perfection. When you think about how many billions of coins pass through people's hands every day unnoticed, the existence of one dime that could be worth more than an entire minting facility's annual production cost becomes an almost poetic irony, a testament to how randomness and precision coexist in the world of minting. Collectors often say that the key to finding such treasures is persistence, knowledge, and a bit of luck, and stories like the 1993 P dime are what fuel that ongoing passion, inspiring thousands to check their loose change daily, hoping for that miraculous find. Next, the 2000 P Roosevelt Dime that has stunned the numismatic world with its astonishing errors and minting mistakes, a dime that experts and collectors believe could be worth up to $7 million. And once you hear the full story, you'll understand why this small coin carries such enormous value and how a combination of chance, machine failure, and minting anomalies turned a 10-cent piece into a legendary numismatic phenomenon. The year 2000 marked the dawn of a new millennium, and the Philadelphia Mint was operating at full speed to produce millions of Roosevelt dimes for circulation. But among these countless coins, an extraordinary error occurred that defied logic, creating a rare few that collectors now call the miracle dimes. And the most famous among them is the 2000 P dime with multiple layers of minting mistakes that make it unlike any other coin ever struck. Reports and verified account from numismatists describe a coin that exhibits a full double die obverse with extreme doubling visible across the date, the word liberty, and even the outline of President Roosevelt's face, with a shadowy second image overlapping the first in perfect misalignment, something caused when the die shifted slightly between strikes, producing two distinct impressions on a single coin. But that's not all. The reverse side reportedly shows partial doubling on the words United States of America and one dime, creating a ghosted, three-dimensional look that's immediately noticeable even without magnification. The presence of a double die on both sides is an extremely rare occurrence, as it requires two independent errors happening during both the obverse and reverse striking processes, a near-impossible combination that dramatically increases the coin's uniqueness and hence its value. What adds to the intrigue is that some examples of the 2000 P dime have been found with a striking anomaly that experts believe was caused by an off-center press alignment of nearly 15%, creating an uneven rim and a slightly shifted portrait of Roosevelt, a visual flaw that turns an ordinary coin into a collectible masterpiece. Additionally, metallurgical analysis of certain 2000 P dimes has revealed inconsistencies in their metal composition, leading some experts to speculate that a few of these dimes may have been struck on experimental planchets intended for testing new clad alloys at the mint, or possibly even struck on leftover planchets meant for foreign contracts. Since the Philadelphia Mint during that period was involved in striking foreign coinage blanks as part of its operations. If proven true, that would make such a dime not only an error, but also a hybrid of two minting purposes, an extraordinary anomaly that instantly catapults its value into the millions. Another aspect that makes the 2000 P dime legendary is the presence of microscopic die cracks and die breaks visible along Roosevelt's neck and extending toward the rim, forming raised metal lines often referred to as lightning cracks among collectors, evidence of a worn-out die that continued striking coins beyond its intended lifespan, creating visual imperfections that make every affected coin one of a kind. On some of these coins, the mint mark P itself appears slightly tilted or partially filled in, suggesting a die chip inside the mint mark cavity, which gives the letter an irregular appearance, a subtle but significant error in numismatic terms. What makes all of this even more extraordinary is that the 2000 P dime represents a modern era coin in a time when the U.S. Mint had highly advanced quality control systems, meaning that the chances of such an error escaping into circulation were astronomically low. Yet history shows that even with precision technology, accidents still happen, and sometimes those accidents create history-making treasures. Collectors and experts alike are fascinated by how this particular dime might have gone unnoticed for so long, circulating quietly among millions of ordinary coins, until a sharp-eyed collector discovered its bizarre doubling and off-metal features, sparking a wave of investigation and excitement in the coin community. Another rare variety rumored to exist within the 2000 P dime series is the broad strike error, where the coin was struck without the restraining collar that shapes the rim, causing the metal to expand outward, resulting in a dime that appears slightly larger in diameter with a flat, rimless edge. This type of striking error combined with the double die makes for a visually stunning and extremely valuable collectible. And then comes the most fascinating theory of all, the possibility that one or more of these 2000 P dimes were accidentally struck on 10-cent blanks intended for proof coins, which would explain their mirror-like surfaces and sharper details observed on some examples. Proof blanks are polished before striking, and if a few of those somehow ended up in the regular production press, the resulting coins would display a deep reflective finish unlike any normal circulation dime, making them instantly recognizable and incredibly rare. Collectors have always placed a premium on such minting anomalies, especially when they occur on modern coins where precision and consistency are expected. The estimated $7 million valuation is not just about rarity, but also the historical and psychological significance of this coin. It represents the ultimate treasure hidden in plain sight, a small piece of metal that challenges our understanding of value, chance, and the boundaries of perfection in manufacturing. Some numismatists even speculate that the 2000 P dime could be the product of a transitional error, struck using a leftover planchet from the previous year, or even one intended for test runs of future coin compositions. A phenomenon similar to the famous 1943 copper penny or the 1965 silver dime transitional errors, both of which became legendary and sold for astronomical sums. What gives this story even more power is the fact that the 2000 P dime was minted at a time of technological transition, as the mint was updating its presses and software-controlled equipment, and during such upgrades, even a momentary miscalibration could produce unpredictable results, leading to off-center strikes, partial hub impressions, or the blending of two different die designs, any of which could result in the extraordinary coin we're talking about. The coin's visual appeal is also undeniable. The strong doubling gives Roosevelt's face an almost three-dimensional illusion, while the distorted lettering and slightly expanded rim make it look more like a handcrafted piece of art than a product of mass production. It's no wonder that collectors refer to this coin as a mint-made masterpiece of error, a perfect example of beauty born from imperfection. Over the years, stories have circulated of collectors finding unusual 2000 P dimes in pocket change or coin rolls, only to realize later that they were holding something potentially worth thousands, even millions, depending on the severity of the errors. Experts warn, however, that only a handful of genuine examples exist with the full combination of traits: double die obverse and reverse, off-metal composition, die cracks, and off-center strike, making those few dimes among the rarest of the rare. If authenticated and graded in mint condition by top-tier organizations like PGS or NGC, the coin could command an astronomical price at auction, possibly breaking records for modern-era U.S. coins. What truly fascinates collectors is not only the monetary value, but the mystery of how such a coin could exist at all in a system designed to eliminate flaws, proving that even the most advanced machinery cannot eliminate the unpredictable element of human oversight and mechanical imperfection. The 2000 P dime serves as a reminder that every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth millions. The hunt for these dimes has become a modern treasure quest, with collectors worldwide examining their loose change, using magnifying glasses and precision scales to check for anomalies, especially looking for dimes with doubling, rim expansion, or unusual coloration that might hint at a different alloy composition. Even the tiniest variations in luster or strike detail can be clues to an extraordinary error. The psychological appeal of this hunt is enormous because it taps into that deep human desire to find value where others see none, to discover a life-changing treasure hiding in plain sight. The story of the 2000 P dime perfectly captures this magic. How something so ordinary, so small, can carry within it the power to rewrite numismatic history and make its finder incredibly wealthy. Some experts believe that more examples may still be out there, undiscovered in old coin jars, bank rolls, or forgotten collections, just waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. The idea that you could be holding a $7 million coin without even realizing it is what keeps the excitement alive, fueling the passion of collectors young and old alike. Next, the 1994 P Roosevelt Dime, a coin that looks like an ordinary 10-cent piece at first glance, but hides inside it a series of minting blunders and unbelievable production anomalies that have made it one of the most valuable dimes ever known, reportedly worth an astonishing $49 million. And the deeper you dive into its story, the more you understand why this small coin has become an icon of rarity and minting mystery. The Philadelphia Mint in 1994 was operating at peak capacity, striking millions of dimes every single day with precision and speed, but even with advanced machinery and experienced technicians, perfection was not guaranteed, and every once in a while, a combination of mechanical error, human oversight, and pure chance would align to create something completely unexpected. A coin so rare and unusual that it would eventually become the stuff of legend. That's exactly what happened with the 1994 P dime, a coin believed to have been struck under rare and accidental conditions that produced multiple unique features. Errors so dramatic and so visually striking that collectors have placed this dime among the most mysterious and sought-after modern minting anomalies in American history. Reports from expert numismatists describe a specific 1994 P dime showing a dramatic double die on both the obverse and reverse sides, with Roosevelt's portrait appearing slightly ghosted, creating a doubled image effect clearly visible to the naked eye, especially around the words liberty and I in God we trust. And on the reverse, the same doubling is evident on United States of America, E pluribus unum, in one dime, a result of the coin being struck twice by misaligned dies during the minting process, an event that should have been caught immediately but somehow slipped through unnoticed. This type of error is already rare, but what makes the 1994 P dime story even more incredible is that certain examples of it also show signs of being struck on the wrong planchet, possibly one intended for a foreign coin or an experimental metal composition, resulting in a slightly lighter weight and a distinct silvery hue with a faint golden undertone, unlike the normal copper-nickel clad dimes produced that year. This off-metal striking theory is supported by microscopic testing that revealed trace elements inconsistent with the standard U.S. dime alloy, leading some experts to believe that the coin may have been struck on a leftover foreign planchet, an error that can happen when the mint reuses or repurposes materials between different coinage contracts, making these dimes true minting anomalies. Another reason this coin commands such an astronomical valuation is the discovery of severe die cracks running through Roosevelt's head and neck area, forming raised metal lines known as die breaks, evidence of a deteriorating die that should have been retired long before it created such noticeable defects. But in this case, the coin survived mint inspection, and those cracks give it a unique fingerprint of authenticity, turning what was once a mistake into a highly desirable collectible feature. On some examples, there's also an unusual strike-through error on the reverse side where foreign debris, possibly lint, grease, or metal shavings, got caught between the die and the planchet during striking, leaving behind odd impressions and missing design elements, which make each coin completely one-of-a-kind. A few reported specimens show faint traces of a broad strike error too, where the coin was struck without the retaining collar, causing the metal to spread outward and create a slightly wider, rimless edge, something that adds to its visual distinction and rarity. Collectors and experts alike are fascinated by the sheer number of anomalies packed into this one coin. Double die, off-metal composition, die cracks, strike-through marks, and possible broad strike, all combined into one improbable piece of numismatic history. It's these overlapping errors that make the 1994 P dime almost mythical in the eyes of collectors because each error type alone could make a coin valuable. But all of them together create something that transcends ordinary rarity and moves into the realm of the truly priceless. Another fascinating element is that the Philadelphia Mint during the early 1990s was transitioning between older and newer minting equipment, which sometimes led to press calibration issues and alignment errors, explaining why some of the 1994 dimes display uneven strikes, off-center images, and slight doubling effects caused by mechanical instability during production. The presence of these overlapping technological hiccups creates a believable context for how such a rare coin could have been produced naturally, even in a modern era of strict quality control. What makes this coin so intriguing is not only its physical characteristics, but also the mystery surrounding its discovery. For years, collectors have debated whether only a handful of these 1994 P error dimes exist, or if more are hidden in circulation, unrecognized by the public. The story goes that the first known example was found by a casual coin roll hunter who noticed something odd about the coin's color and doubling under direct light. And when experts examined it, they realized it was unlike any dime ever seen before. That discovery sparked a frenzy among numismatists, with collectors across the country searching for more, checking every 1994 dime for the slightest imperfection or anomaly that might match the legendary coin's description. The excitement surrounding the 1994 P dime is similar to the hysteria caused by the discovery of the 1943 copper penny or the 1975 No S dime. Both coins that turn out to be multi-million-dollar treasures because of minting mistakes. And like those legends, the 1994 P dime now stands as a symbol of how the tiniest imperfections can create monumental value. Experts have speculated that if a perfect or near-perfect example of this dime were to surface and be certified by major grading services like PCGS or NGC, its auction price could easily exceed $49 million, especially given the growing demand for modern U.S. error coins and the rarity of multiple simultaneous errors occurring on a single strike. Beyond its financial value, the coin holds historical and cultural significance because it represents the unpredictable beauty of imperfection, a reminder that even in the age of advanced minting technology, true perfection is impossible, and sometimes those small flaws tell a much bigger story. The fascination lies not only in the errors themselves, but in the possibilities. Could the coin have been struck on an experimental blank intended for a future alloy test? Could have been a misfeed involving a leftover foreign planchet from another contract? Could it be a transitional error that bridges 2 production years? Each of these scenarios is rare on its own, but together they create a perfect storm of minting curiosity that makes this dime almost otherworldly. The allure of the 1994 P dime is further amplified by its aesthetic appeal. The doubling gives Roosevelt's portrait an almost holographic appearance. The metallic sheen has a slightly iridescent tone, and the cracks and off-center strike create a visual texture that no artist could replicate intentionally. Collectors describe it as a coin that tells its own story in metal form, a story of pressure, friction, and imperfection forged under conditions that were never meant to occur. It's a tangible link between human craftsmanship and mechanical unpredictability, between the precision of the mint and the chaos of error. This emotional connection is what makes collectors willing to pay millions, because owning a coin like the 1994 P dime isn't just about possessing metal. It's about owning a piece of history, a physical manifestation of luck and rarity. The psychological thrill of knowing that an ordinary-looking dime could be worth tens of millions drives thousands of people to check their change daily, hoping to find one of these mythical pieces. Many people have started closely examining every 1994 dime they come across, especially those with the P mint mark, using magnifiers, scales, and light tests to detect signs of doubling, rim irregularities, or unusual coloration. The coin has become a symbol of hope for treasure hunters, proof that life-changing discoveries can come from the most unexpected places. What's even more fascinating is that so few of these coins are known that even experts can't agree on how many exist, which adds to the intrigue and fuels the legend. Some believe only a single perfect example remains, possibly lost in private hands, while others think a few may still be sitting unnoticed in old collections or jars of change. The mere possibility that such a treasure could still be out there keeps collectors restless, always searching, always hoping. The 1994 P dime worth $49 million is not just a coin. It's a reminder that perfection isn't what creates value. Imperfection does. Next, the 1996 P Roosevelt Dime, a coin that has become the center of endless fascination and debate. A coin that looks completely normal to the untrained eye, but hides within it a collection of minting mistakes and striking errors so rare and extraordinary that its estimated value has soared to an unbelievable $37 million, making it one of the most valuable modern dimes ever to exist. The Philadelphia Mint, where this dime was produced, struck hundreds of millions of coins in 1996 to meet the nation's demand for currency. And under normal circumstances, every coin was supposed to be identical, flawless, and uniform. But as history has shown time and again, perfection in minting is impossible, and sometimes a rare combination of human error, mechanical failure, and chance can create coins that defy logic and expectation. And the 1996 P dime is one such miracle of imperfection. What makes this coin so valuable and fascinating is the series of documented errors and anomalies that appear on a few of these rare dimes, beginning with one of the most visible and dramatic features, a strong double die strike on the obverse side, where President Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait appears slightly doubled, producing a ghost-like shadow effect across his profile and the inscriptions around it. Under magnification, the doubling is clear and consistent, especially on the word liberty, the date 1996, and Roosevelt's eye and lips, showing that this wasn't a result of simple die wear or machine vibration, but a true hub doubling created during the die preparation process, an error that happens before the coins are even struck, making it exceedingly rare. On the reverse side, collectors have reported faint but noticeable doubling on the words United States of America and 1 dime, adding another layer of rarity to an already extraordinary coin. However, the uniqueness of this dime doesn't end with doubling. Some 1996p examples have been discovered with a dramatic off-center strike of about 10 to 20%, meaning the design was not properly centered on the blank planchet when struck, creating an uneven rim and leaving part of the design missing while still keeping the full date and mint mark visible. A condition that greatly increases a coin's desirability and value, because it makes every piece visually distinct. In other cases, experts have identified planchet composition anomalies where the metal used to strike the coin differs slightly from standard copper-nickel clad, suggesting that a few may have been struck on experimental or transitional planchets, possibly leftover blanks from foreign coin contracts or alloy testing runs conducted at the mint during that period. These composition errors can cause variations in color, weight, and even sound when the coin is dropped, giving off a distinct ring compared to normal dimes, a subtle difference that advanced collectors look for. Some metallurgical tests on reported specimens have indicated the presence of trace metals, such as zinc or tin, in concentrations inconsistent with U.S. dime specifications, fueling theories that these 1996p dimes might have been struck using recycled or misalilocated metal blanks. Another rare and eye-catching feature on a few known examples is the presence of die cracks, raised metal lines that streak across Roosevelt's neck and forehead, caused by a fractured die continuing to strike coins instead of being replaced. These cracks act like unique fingerprints, each one different from the next, and when combined with the double die features, they form a pattern of errors so complex and layered that numismatists call it a perfect storm of minting mistakes. But the most incredible and debated claim about the 1996 P dime's value comes from a rumor that one or more examples were accidentally struck on a silver planchet, something that should have been impossible since silver dimes were discontinued in 1964. But accidents of this kind have happened before, as seen with the famous 1965 silver Roosevelt Dime transitional error, which is now worth thousands. If even one authentic 1996 P dime struck on a silver planchet exists, its rarity would justify a multi-million-dollar valuation, as it would represent a major modern-era minting anomaly. The possibility of such an occurrence is not far-fetched, considering that the mint occasionally stores leftover blanks from test runs or old metal batches, and under the right circumstances, one could have found its way into a production line undetected. On top of that, some reports mention a broad strike error variant of the 1996 P dime, with a retaining collar that normally contains the coin's expansion during striking failed, causing the coin to spread outward and flatten, removing the raised rim entirely. This kind of error is visually striking and instantly recognizable, making it a favorite among collectors. Additionally, a few examples have surfaced with partial missing clad layers, where one side of the coin shows exposed copper beneath the nickel surface, giving it a two-toned appearance that makes it look almost like an experimental piece. These missing clad layer errors occur when the outer metal layer fails to bond properly during planchet preparation, and when combined with other anomalies like doubling or off-center strikes, they create coins of nearly unparalleled uniqueness. Every one of these factors contributes to the massive valuation of $37 million. But beyond the technical errors, what truly drives the fascination with the 1996 P dime is its story and symbolism. It represents the idea that perfection is not what gives something its worth, but rather its imperfections, its individuality, its accident of creation. This coin encapsulates the unpredictable nature of minting, where even the most advanced machines and skilled technicians can't prevent occasional miracles of error. Numismatists often say that coins like the 1996 P dime are historical accidents that carry both beauty and mystery because they are born out of conditions that are nearly impossible to reproduce. Collectors are drawn to them not only for their financial potential, but for the story they tell about how randomness, precision, and human oversight can collide to create something truly one of a kind. The Philadelphia Mint in the mid-1990s was modernizing its equipment, upgrading from older press systems to new high-speed models. And during those transitions, slight misalignments, pressure variations, or dime misfeeds were known to happen, which perfectly fits the pattern of how such errors could have emerged in this year's production. Some experts even speculate that the 1996 P dime could have been part of a small batch of test strikes for calibration that somehow escaped the mint into circulation, a scenario that has happened before with other rare coins like the 1975 NOS Roosevelt Dime and the 1999 W experimental planchet errors. Because so few examples of the 1996 P dime with these combined errors have ever been verified, it has gained a mythical status among collectors, often discussed in forums and at coin shows as the ghost dime of the modern era, believed to exist, occasionally cited but rarely confirmed. The thought that there could be a coin worth $37 million sitting unrecognized in someone's coin jar or pocket change keeps collectors motivated, sparking daily hunts through rolls of dimes in search of the impossible. The emotional appeal is undeniable. Imagine holding a coin that cost the mint only a few cents to produce, but is now worth more than a private island. A coin that by all logic shouldn't exist, but does because of a few split-second mistakes in a high-speed press. The 1996 P dime story has also become a lesson in the power of observation and patience, reminding collectors that treasures often hide in plain sight and that fortune favors those who look closer. Over the years, whispers of discoveries and auction rumors have circulated, each reigniting interest in this extraordinary dime, though no single specimen has yet been officially sold for the full estimated value. The theoretical worth remains based on its unique convergence of rare features and the astronomical prices paid for similar high-profile minting errors in history. The combination of double die obverse and reverse, off-center strike, die cracks, missing clad layer, possible off-metal composition, and unintentional broad strike make this dime one of the most complex error coins ever rumored to exist. It stands as proof that even in modern times, when technology should eliminate mistakes, the unpredictability of minting still finds a way to surprise us. For coin enthusiasts, the 1996 P dime represents more than wealth. It symbolizes discovery, chance, and the timeless excitement of the unknown. Every collector dreams of finding that one coin that changes everything, and this dime embodies that dream in its purest form. Today we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1995 D Roosevelt Dime, a coin that has shocked collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike because of its jaw-dropping estimated value of $41 million, a number so incredible that it has elevated this unassuming dime into the realm of numismatic legend. To most people, the 1995 D dime looks like any other ordinary coin. Tiny, silver-colored, light, and familiar. But under closer examination, a few rare examples have revealed mysterious and mind-blowing errors, anomalies, and production flaws that turn this common piece of change into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The Denver Mint, marked with the letter D just beside the date, produced hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes in 1995 using high-speed presses, precision dies, and strict quality control systems. But even with the best technology, perfection in minting is impossible. And once in a great while, a combination of minute mistakes, human oversight, and sheer chance creates a masterpiece of imperfection. And the 1995 D dime is exactly that. This dime's value skyrocketed because of several overlapping mint errors, each one rare on its own. But together, they form a sequence of flaws that makes the coin virtually unique. The first major error noticed on some 1995 D examples is a strong double die obverse, where the design on the die was improperly impressed twice at slightly different angles, causing Roosevelt's profile, the inscriptions, and even a mint mark to appear faintly duplicated. Under magnification, this doubling is unmistakable. Roosevelt's eye seems to have a ghostly reflection. The word Liberty shows a visible outline of secondary letters, and even the date 1995 looks thick and doubled, with the digits slightly overlapping. This type of doubling doesn't happen during striking, but during the hubbing process when a master hub transfers the design to the working die, meaning only a handful of dies ever have this defect, which translates to an extremely limited number of coins with the error. The doubling alone could make this dime worth thousands, but it doesn't end there. The reverse of some known specimens shows partial doubling as well, especially on the torch and the lettering E pluribus unum, creating a mirror-like appearance when tilted under light. On top of the doubling, certain examples show signs of off-center striking, where the coin blank was not properly aligned in the press, causing the entire design to shift several millimeters to one side and leaving a thick, uneven rim. This off-center feature gives each coin a unique look, as some portions of the design near the edge may be missing while the date and mint mark remain intact, which is crucial because a visible date and mint mark make an error coin far more valuable to collectors. Another spectacular and extremely rare error found on this 1995 D dime is what experts call a die cap strike, in which a coin gets stuck to the upper die and continues striking subsequent blanks, creating distorted, concave impressions with ghostly mirror images of the design. These capped die errors produce a dramatic domed effect on one side and a soft, blurry strike on the other, and when combined with a double die obverse, the result is one of the rarest and most valuable mechanical minting errors imaginable. Beyond these mechanical flaws, metallurgical analysis of certain reported specimens suggests that some 1995 D dimes were struck on planchets with unusual metallic compositions, possibly transitional or experimental blanks that slipped into production. The standard dime is composed of a copper core with a nickel-clad surface, but some of these errors show slightly lighter weights, unexpected toning, and even different sound profiles when dropped, all hinting that they might have been struck on foreign coin planchets or mis-fed blanks from other denominations, like the 5-cent or foreign 10-cent equivalents the mint occasionally produce for other nations. The possibility of a wrong planchet strike adds immense intrigue and rarity, because such mistakes happen so rarely that each confirmed specimen becomes a numismatic event. Adding to the legend of the 1995 D dime are reports of coins with missing clad layers, where one side of the coin reveals the copper core beneath the silvery surface, creating a two-tone effect that instantly catches the eye. These missing clad errors occur when the nickel coating fails to bond properly during planchet manufacturing, and in a few cases, both sides may exhibit partial peeling or blistering of the surface layer, which can create stunning visual patterns resembling flames or waves across the coin's design. This distinctive look makes the 1995 D dime not only rare, but visually spectacular, the kind of error that becomes instantly recognizable among collectors. Furthermore, die cracks and die breaks have been noted on certain examples, forming raised lines across Roosevelt's face, neck, or the reverse torch, caused by stress fractures in the die itself. These imperfections form natural patterns that act like signatures. No two are the same, and when combined with other rare traits, they create an error coin of unimaginable complexity and value. The legend deepens with rumors that one or more 1995 D dimes may have been struck on leftover silver planchets, something the mint hadn't used since the 1960s, but which occasionally reappeared in test strikes or in leftover stock that got mixed in irregular production by mistake. If even one verified silver 1995 D dime exists, its worth could exceed all known error coins because it would represent a modern-day transitional error bridging the old silver era with the modern clad age. The idea of a silver 1995 D dime fuels imaginations because it ties together numismatic history with minting mystery, showing how even decades after a transition, accidental use of outdated materials could still happen in the chaos of large-scale production. Another possible contributing factor to this coin's mythical value is the theory that a few test strikes were created for internal quality assessments at the Denver Mint using special dies or foreign planchets and were never meant to leave the facility, yet somehow escaped into circulation. Such accidental releases have precedent in numismatic history, like the 1975 No-S Roosevelt Dime and the 1999 experimental planchet quarters, both of which have fetched astronomical prices at auction. The 1995 D Dime fits this pattern perfectly. A modern coin that shouldn't exist in the form it does, yet mysteriously does, making it both a collector's dream and a historian's puzzle. The market value of $41 million may sound impossible for such a small coin, but its combination of features, double die, off-center strike, missing clad, possible wrong planchet or silver composition, die cracks, and cap die strike, forms a perfect storm of rarity that could justify that price under the right circumstances. In the world of ultra-rare coins, uniqueness is everything, and the 1995 D Dime embodies that principle to perfection. Its beauty lies not in its flawlessness, but in its imperfection. In the story, it tells of how a momentary slip in the mint's process created something that transcended time and logic. Collectors often say that coins like these are miracles of metal, tangible proof that even machines can make mistakes that turn into masterpieces. The Denver Mint was operating at immense speed in 1995, producing millions of coins per day, and even a tiny misalignment or material mix-up could yield a handful of coins unlike any others. That's the magic of minting, the tension between precision and unpredictability. What makes the 1995 D Dime truly special is that it embodies every type of minting error imaginable in one astonishing coin, making it a once-in-a-century phenomenon. Its story spreads like wildfire across coin forums, conventions, and YouTube channels, captivating both casual viewers and professional numismatists. The thought that a $41 million coin could be sitting unnoticed in someone's change jar, wallet, or dresser drawer electrifies treasure hunters everywhere, sparking curiosity and excitement every time someone picks up a dime and checks the date. It serves as a powerful reminder that life-changing discoveries can hide in plain sight. Imagine the thrill of flipping over a dime and realizing that the tiny letter D beneath the date connects you to one of the rarest minting events in history. The 1995 D Dime teaches us that mistakes can sometimes lead to unimaginable fortune, that beauty and value often lie in imperfection, and that the everyday can become extraordinary if we only look closely enough. So as the legend of the $41 million dime continues to grow, it inspires countless collectors around the world to keep searching, keep examining, and never overlook even the smallest details. Because one day, the next great discovery might just be resting quietly in the palm of your hand. The miraculous 1995 D Dime, a symbol of chance, rarity, and the timeless wonder of hidden treasure.